Hey everyone, Chris here from Real Rideshare Stories, doing a live stream and talking about some things to do with unemployment and a couple of things, unfortunately, that may cause issues with gig workers actually trying to claim unemployment. So we're going to be talking about that. I'm going to be referencing two different articles right now that I did come across. So we're going to go over that, and then we'll see where things go. If you guys have some questions or anything, we can kind of answer them, at least to the best of my knowledge. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of things out there that we just don't know. So this being a live stream, we're going to try to cover as much of the content actually is what this article is, or what this title is, I should say, in this YouTube video. Pretty much to it, not really going off tangent, because unfortunately there is so much information coming out right now. So let's clarify quite a few things going on. And then, yeah, so... hey, Slat, how's it going? Rideshare Lisa, what's going on? Our New Pain? All right, Mark, what's going on? From California, nice, cool. From New York, so opposite sides of the country. But yes, right before we get started though, I just want to say thank you everybody for hitting the 8,000 subscriber mark. Just hit that earlier today. So thank you everybody who has subscribed and continue watching the videos. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here able to continue doing these videos. So I appreciate it and I thank you very much. And now let's hit 10K. So working hard and diligently towards that goal. But again, thank you for everybody who's new to the channel, because there was a lot of new subscribers over the last few weeks because of everything going on, especially with unemployment. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded, whether it's news or normal content that I produce. But again, thank you very much. Thanks, Mark. All right, so let's get right into it, because that's pretty much what everybody wants to know about, is this whole thing dealing when it comes to unemployment and a new hurdle that gig workers, whether you're Uber, Lyft, any of the other gig platforms, may be facing when it comes to actually trying to apply and receive benefits from not only your state, but the federal Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. Hey Dylan, what's going on? All right, so both of these articles that I'm going to go over right now is going to be in the description below, so you can check out these articles. One's from Wired, which we're going to go over first. Here in Phoenix, no news till probably the 1st, except they are working on it. Yes, pretty much everywhere is still working on it. Department of Labor just finally was able to get all the states with whatever they needed to know in terms of being able to apply these new changes from the stimulus package to the states. So now the states are able to kind of get things going, get things working. Some states are still waiting a little bit more on terms of what they have to do, but it looks like most states have at least that in place, where they know what to expect. Now it's just building systems and building the applications and building all of that stuff. So some places say it may be already going on. Certain states are already allowing people to file. In New York State, you are able to file, and some people already have, but nothing is being paid out yet. And then also other states are starting to as well, or coming online in the next week or few weeks at least. So some places like North Carolina are expecting April 25th from the video I did earlier about this. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of this up in the air type thing, what's going on. What's up, Gary on Vegas 888? Thank you for the congrats. I see maximum gig and rideshare workers applying via UI link. What happens? Pretty much what's going to end up happening is it's going to vary state to state. So your state might be different, but for most states, it looks like you're going to have to apply for regular unemployment insurance benefits first. And then if you're denied, that's when you'll be able to apply for the PUA, or the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. Again, it's just kind of starting to come out into light exactly what's going on. So as new changes do come up, I will always make update videos, especially like this one. So this is a hurdle that unfortunately gig workers may be facing when trying to apply. And the sad part is it's going to come down to, it looks like, one person and one person alone. So if that's the case, I will definitely but I will definitely let you know how to try to get that out of the way, or maybe help that hurdle go away. And that is Euguene Scalia, who is the Department of Labor. He is the secretary there, and he is the one who is actually trying to take this and kind of allow certain places to apply and certain places to not apply. So Euguene Scalia may be a name that you could have a thorn in your side when it comes down to it. So these two articles, like I said, that I'm going to go over right now is going to kind of put that into light, exactly what is happening. Casey, what's going on? Gary, Sean, Mark, two Marks here. Keep filing weekly claims and wait. Yeah, so, some places pretty much. Other states, as Mark Sullivan says, there's no timetable yet. So are we not going to get unemployment even though it's dangerous for us to work? Jimmy, it's possible. There may be a problem with it. And like I said, this is what we're going to be talking about right now. So going into the article, it says gig workers' new unemployment benefits won't come quickly. $2 trillion coronavirus relief bill makes contractors eligible for unemployment insurance, but states want pay stubs that ride-hail drivers don't have. So again, where was it? Hold on. Oh yeah, right here. It's Yash Bazin estimates it took him 3 or 4 hours to apply for unemployment insurance, far longer than that if he had pay stubs from an employer. Bazian, I don't know. I'm not sure how you say that. Drives full-time Uber and Lyft in California when the COVID-19 pandemic isn't scaring away riders and making him nervous about his own safety behind the wheel. Those companies consider their drivers self-employed freelancers who generally are not eligible for unemployment, even though his work has dwindled to nothing. And this is most areas. I just did a video a few days ago about how much Uber business has lost when it comes to ride hailing, and it's about 94% from what they said, and that was over a 4-week span. So if that's changed, I haven't really seen anything else, but it says that the form California uses to evaluate unemployment claims clearly wasn't made for him. He had to comb through receipts and calculate his quarterly income since 2018. The form asked his supervisor's name and for permission to contact her. Who's your boss when the algorithm calls the shots? Well, pretty much, yeah. So now more than 2 weeks later, he's heard nothing from the state about his application, which again, nothing has been put into place really yet when it comes to states, even though some states already may have accepted unemployment applications, it still hasn't been paid out really yet. So Congress included ride-hail drivers in a $2 trillion pandemic relief bill approved late last month, which we've been covering that quite a bit. So gig workers whose work been affected by the virus are eligible up to 39 weeks of unemployment benefits, but the money won't arrive quickly. And this is kind of why. So officials and state unemployment offices are scrambling to determine who's eligible for what benefits, how to get the money to them. And they're wading through an unprecedented 10 million claims filed in the past 2 weeks, only receiving instructions from the U.S. Department of Labor on Sunday on handling gig worker applications. And they're still continuing to receive updates from the Labor Department. So a spokesman for the Labor Department said that it's because most independent contractors do not usually qualify for unemployment insurance. They would need to file a claim with these states before applying for pandemic relief. And the reason is because maybe you may be able to get regular benefits through either a W-2 or if you are still able to claim on that. Now, most drivers that do drive are or have another job with them, and they only drive part-time. But there are a lot of drivers out there that are driving full-time or full-time gig workers maybe not necessarily just Uber and Lyft, but could be, doing Instacart and DoorDash and maybe some other freelance work where you're an independent contractor, a freelancer, or self-employed as well too. So that's where this whole issue is coming in. Are new workers that started this year still eligible? Slat, it seems like it, but I can't tell you for sure. Hey, what's up, Dustin? How you doing? Make sure you hit up Dustin is Driving as well. If you don't know Dustin, great channel over there. And I can't wait until all this is over so him and I can actually get together and do some real collabs besides some of the fun stuff that him and I doing. So yeah, getting back to this though. Where was I? Oh yeah, procedures will vary state by state. So I'm in New York. I only know what New York is going to do. Different states are different. I mean, if people want to update me as to what your state is specifically, you can email me that, or always put it in the live chats whenever I go live to at least let other people in that state know. But yeah, when it comes down to it, states are going to vary state by state. So New York State Department of Labor says the guidance requires workers who are usually not eligible for unemployment to apply to state programs, get rejected, and then apply again for the federally funded pandemic assistance. So some state unemployment websites have crashed. New York has called thousands of times over the past few weeks or waited on hold for hours. And that is very true. If you're on the website, it'll crash, it'll time out. You'll have to do the application, 15, 20 times, whatever it is. And then after that, you actually have to call in and verify all the information. And you may be calling 1,000, 1,500 times, getting through sometimes. And then after you get through, it'll say, oh, all of the people are busy right now, and then hang up on you where you got to do all over again. And then when you finally do get placed on hold waiting for somebody from the unemployment office to talk to you, you're sitting on the phone waiting for an hour, 2 hours, and it's a horrible, horrible process. I'm actually making a video on that, which hopefully will be out maybe tomorrow, if not definitely on Monday. When it comes to unemployment and some of the things that people had to do, especially in New York State. So New York, I do know they upgraded their systems. So apparently everything has changed somewhat, but that's only New York State. All the other states still are doing different things as well too. So everyone's confused. A spokesperson for Georgia Department of Labor last week, they had said still on their site, self-employed workers, gig workers, 1099 independent contractors do not apply at this time. So their IT team is still rushing to develop a website to accommodate those applying for state unemployment through this gig work, independent contractor, or whenever you file 1099. And they say building the site could take 2 days, 4 days, or 2 weeks. No one's really sure. So self-employed people have received federal unemployment assistance before as part of disaster relief packages, but it's never been used at this scale. And this is the reason why it's becoming so crazy when it comes down to it. So that's some of the issues. And then it kind of goes on and it talks about the sick pay that everybody has or can get. And then they're talking about California and New York, how some laws for gig workers in the unemployment system have already been set up and established. So places like New York State and California have been able to create laws and have that follow through in court. Although the problem is because in those states, ride-hail drivers may get benefits more quickly. The process, though, is fraught there too, because it's unclear whether these states see ride-hail drivers as employees or independent contractors. And even those states don't have information about the drivers' wages to streamline the application process. And that's one of the big things is now you need to know driver wages. So some are starting to send it out, meaning Uber and Lyft, but right here it says, Uber spokesman Harry Hartfield said Uber had begun submitting driver wage information, which should accelerate the process. Lyft declined to comment on the issue, but a spokesperson said the majority of the company's drivers also work for other companies, may receive benefits through those employers. So it sounds like Lyft is not doing a goddamn thing, which has kind of been pretty much the exact same thing when it comes down to the sick pay. And then it goes on talking about AB5 in California and a couple of things there. So if you do want to read this article from Wired, because it does have a lot of good information in it, link will be in the description below. Before I head over to this one and talk about what this is and some of the hurdles that we may face as gig workers trying to get unemployment, is Labor Secretary Scalia. But before I get that, I'm going to go on to some people in the chat and see. You have two jobs. One is W-2 and the other is 1099. Will you get denied since you work for Uber too? No, Esmeralda, that is why they're having you file for regular first. So until pretty much the only thing that's going to know for sure is the state itself. So it's going to have to be where you apply, put in your information on that to what suits you best, and fill out that in as best as you can. And then it's going to kick back either approved or denied through regular unemployment. Almost not worth waiting for, big brother. No. Been a month without work, lagging behind payments now. Yeah, a lot of people are, especially a lot of people because they live paycheck to paycheck or something along that nature. And even, trying to put some savings away, that savings is taking a big chunk right now. So it's tough. Instacart, the new rideshare, you just signed up today. Going to try it out. Yeah, Instacart's been pretty busy. So yeah, I can definitely do that. If you get anything from this experience, we got put out there. We do exist. That's true. That is very true. So now let's get into this article here. And this, like I said, this can be the one hurdle that could prevent gig workers from receiving unemployment benefits through the federal stimulus package. And unfortunately for that, it's going to come down to one person who's making this decision, and that is Labor Secretary Euguene Scalia. And he's facing criticism and curtailing worker relief amid the virus unemployment crisis. So if you are worried about this, I would highly suggest contacting your local representatives in the federal government, whether it's the House or the Senate, getting in contact with them and then telling them that you are a gig worker and that you want to make sure that this stimulus package includes you as well, and bring up Euguene Scalia's name right in that email. And you can even phone call them. And you could probably even try making sure you send a letter to him himself and maybe do something that way. So if there could be quite a few gig workers out there that are applying and wanting to apply and needing to apply, and for him to make this decision by interpreting the law one way or another and curtailing benefits, I would highly suggest getting hold of those people, including him, and tell and voice your opinion exactly how you see fit. Now, always keep it professional. I know you could be MFing people there, but always keep it professional, because that's going to be much more well received, especially when it is going to be these types of people who are actually influencing what could happen and influence him to make different decisions. So that is one thing you can do. So getting right into it, Labor Department is facing growing criticism over its response to the pandemic, as the agency plays a central role in ensuring tens of millions of workers affected by the crisis get assistance. And that criticism ranges direct actions from the agency has taken to limit the scope of worker assistance programs to concerns that it hasn't been aggressive enough about protecting workers from the health risks or supporting states scrambling to deliver billions in new aid. So in recent days, Euguene Scalia, who has expressed concerns about unemployment insurance being too generous, has used his department's authority over new laws enacted by Congress to limit who qualifies for joblessness assistance and to make it easier for small businesses not to pay family leave benefits. The new rule make it more difficult for gig workers such as Uber and Lyft drivers to get benefits, while making it easier for some companies to avoid paying their workers coronavirus-related sick and family leave. So right there, like I said, it's pretty much down to him right here, because he's the one who is interpreting how this is working. And so he's making it more difficult for gig workers to receive benefits. And that's the big problem. The Department of Labor chose the narrowest possible definition of who qualifies for pandemic unemployment assistance, said Andrew Stetner, a senior fellow at Century Foundation who spent 2 decades working on unemployment programs. Same time, frustrations built up among career staff at the agency who hasn't ordered employers to follow safeguards. And that's talking about some of the OSHA stuff, so I'm not really going to get into that. I'm only going to pay attention to some of the stuff that is more affecting us as gig workers. So Scalia, a longtime corporate lawyer who is the son of the late Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia, has emerged as a critical player in the government's economic response to the pandemic. Nearly 17 million Americans applied for unemployment since Trump declared a national emergency on March 13th, and states are struggling to get their systems working to deliver $260 billion in new aid approved by Congress. So it's a lot of money that's there, and hopefully this will be something that we will be able to claim if you need to claim it. So Democrats and some Republicans argue that the Labor Department needs to be more aggressive about dispersing money and technical assistance to states to shore up unemployment insurance system. The department has only released $500 million in administrative support when it was a $2.2 trillion stimulus. They've only released half of $1 billion. That's horrible. So Lindsey Graham, Republican in South Carolina, said Thursday in an interview that he's talked to Scalia about the need to speed things up. You could have massive civil unrest if these systems cannot get checks out the door. And we're talking about 20% of unemployment or even more. So the application process is a nightmare, and anybody who has applied would understand that it is a nightmare. And unfortunately, these state systems are failing, as it says. So Graham said Scalia has been responsive, but he doesn't see any action being taken. And then that's back to OSHA. Hold on. Right here. Still, Scalia has made clear he's weary of taking an excessively lax approach to dispersing aid, an argument that he used to win GOP support in recent legislation. He warned that he does not want unemployment people to become addicted to government aid, but by limiting Uber and Lyft and gig workers who have dried up because they can't get any rides or any money coming in, then that makes a real problem. So it sounds like he's a little disconnected to what's actually happening. So they say they want workers to work and not become dependent on the unemployment system. And I'm sure most people are just like that. You want to get out there and you'd like to work, but you want to make sure you're safe. And again, rides aren't coming in. 94% drop on Uber's platform. I mean, come on, how much more clear can that get? Unemployment is not the preferred outcome when a government stay-at-home orders force temporary business shutdowns. Well, right there, how are you going to get money if you have to stay at home? And then, hold on. Where's the spread? All right. Where is it? Right here. Yes. Canada did a much better job than this. Well, that's good. I haven't really followed up with Canada's what they're doing there. So if you know what it is, then let me know, because I'm not sure. You just signed up on the new IRS portal to get that. It's easy, just waiting on a decision said within 48 hours. That's good. Flying for 2 weeks in Missouri and have tried calling 73 times last week. No luck. Ken, you're gonna have to probably call way more than 73 times. Just saying, if you want to get a hold of somebody. Here in Colorado, they say middle of next week for gig workers. So far, Colorado has been good on its word. Hopefully that stays the case. Banks have become dependent on socialism. Yeah. Try again next year. Oh, by the way, we're canceling 2020. Come back again. All right. So new Labor Department guidance says unemployment benefits apply only to gig workers who are forced to suspend operations, in quotes, which could dramatically limit options for workers if their apps are still operating. Other workers also face a high hurdle to qualify for benefits. So right there, again, if they're forced to suspend operations, that means Uber and Lyft would have to shut themselves down in order to claim. At least that's what it looks like. Hopefully, again, this is not the case, but it could. So again, make sure to call your representatives. Make sure to phone President Trump. I don't really care who you call. Call as many people as you can to make them influence to change this decision if this is actually what is going to take place. And again, this is still an if. So it's whatever it could be. So the guidance says a worker may be able to return to his or her place of employment within 2 weeks of quarantining, and parents forced to stop work to care for their children after schools closed are not eligible for unemployment after the school year is over. Workers who stay home because they are older or in another high-risk group are also ineligible unless they can prove a medical professional advised them to stop working. Some states are having a difficult time figuring out how to verify how much money self-employed workers typically earn. It might require looking at tax documents, which unemployment offices don't usually have access to. So again, I've been bringing that up about needing your tax returns. It looks like that could be the case where you have to submit that. I'm not exactly sure, though, 100%, because, again, those applications really haven't changed too much, at least from what I've seen. So some of the requirements, the standards that we're being held to are going to be incredibly difficult to adhere to. And then I think that... And then it just talks about going into family leave and sick leave and all that. And then it talks about some things with OSHA. So yeah, right here, where it's talking about the gig workers. Again, this link will be in the description below. So if you'd like to read that, it will be there. But yeah, what do you guys think about all this? Do you think that this is a big problem? Comment in the live stream or comment below and let me know. Steph, hey, how's it going? And congratulations to Steph on the Pedal. If you haven't checked out her channel yet, go over and check her out. She just hit the 2,000 subscriber mark, so congratulations, Steph. You keep a tight spreadsheet. That is the best thing to do. Always, you are self-employed. You want to make sure that you follow and have your own paperwork put together. So if you have a spreadsheet, if you have all your receipts, if you have everything put away and lined up all nicely, that's really going to be helpful for you. So it'll at least show you exactly what maybe you need to put out there. So that's going to be good, definitely, to have. 2,000 a month in Canada for 4 months, everybody. No BS to go through. Well, that's pretty nice. Ken Parks emailed the governor. Right on. I would start emailing everybody. I would email your state senators. I would email your House of Representative members of Congress. I would go as far as the VP, the president, and even your governor, and even some states, people who are higher up in the states. Even talking about Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, a couple of those people I would also, because they are Senate majority leaders and minority leaders. So those people are going to have a lot more influence over some other people's decisions, like Euguene Scalia. And you could probably find Euguene Scalia's information and email him and share exactly what you think about that. Signed up for the IRS portal, and after 15, they send you a second email saying, congratulations, IRS approved the application. Awesome, Esmeralda, great. What's up, Donnie? How you doing? What we're talking about tonight, we're going to get some more free money. We might not get some free money, Donnie. That's the problem. So that's what I'm talking about. There's been a hurdle coming from one person and one person only. You're just thankful that the government will give us money. Hopefully, yeah. I mean, that $1,200 check is going to be nice to help with bills and things like that. But if people can't work for an extended amount of time, and right now a lot of stay-at-home places or shelter-in places or non-essential work is pretty much until April 30th for many, many areas. And that's still 20 days away. And that's just to reevaluate. That doesn't necessarily mean that things are going to get back to normal, or you might be able to work, or even Uber and Lyft will start operating at its normal capacity again. That may take several months because some people may just not want to go out or risk it, even though everything's in the clear. And so it could be a long time until then. So yeah, I mean, other places like food delivery, Instacart or shopping, or package delivery, couriers, things like that, they're all still doing some good business. And they also limit the exposure about how many people you're going to run into. So especially things like Amazon Flex and other courier packaging, delivery systems, things like that, even Roadie, all that's pretty good ways to turn to in case something happens where you were relying on this unemployment and something happens where you weren't able to collect it. Didn't the initial checklist say you're able to quit if directly affected by if you're able to quit if directly affected by it, yes. And that's the whole thing. Uber and Lyft's business dried up. I mean, let me see if I can find that chart. We're right. Oh, here it is. Come on, out of the way. Thank you. So right here, week 9 of the year, you could see this is Uber's ride-hailing system and sales. It was 58,564. 4 weeks later, it dropped 94%. And this is week 13, so this is a couple weeks ago still. It could have gone even lower. I haven't seen any updates about this, but still 94%. So out of all the 3 million drivers that are out there who can't drive right now, that's a major problem. Chelsea, what's going on? How you doing? Got a loan from Wells Fargo to be an Uber driver. All the paperwork. Nice. Yeah, getting loans can be very difficult being a Uber or Lyft driver. But if you show, the right documentation and you show the right amount of money that you're making week in and week out, you can definitely get it 50, 60 hours a week for wholesale is 12 months. Like JG Wentworth. It's my money and I need it now. Oh, I love those 8-ball corner pocket. Yeah, but what do you guys think about this? Do you think that this is a hurdle or anything like that? Quit driving Lyft March 9th because you had a job lined up. There's some money in the bank, job got rescinded and didn't want to work because of the virus. That may qualify a little bit different because some of the things I saw where if you had a job lined up, but because of the disease, then that could actually qualify you for regular unemployment. Again, that's going to be state by state. I thought I saw something like that. I know I saw something like that for the pandemic unemployment assistance. So once everything comes down and figures out for sure, then we'll really know. Ugh. All right. So, any last questions or anything about this when it comes down to it? Again, if you are trying to apply for unemployment or want to apply for unemployment, one of the biggest things is to make sure that you contact all your representatives that you possibly can and say the exact same thing about Euguene Scalia, and hopefully it will help influence those decisions to be made differently if in fact that is the truth behind it, because part of the whole bill was to protect gig workers from this whole pandemic and this whole problem because businesses dried up. But But again, there are different things that you could do if pressed. So again, just make sure you do what you have to do in order to continue paying your bills, putting food on the table, and however you need to stay safe and healthy as well. Anyone receive 0 for benefit? Yes. I think most people have right now. It says 0. MH. Or I mean, I'm sorry, Slat. You like to party? Can I sit up front? Are you talking about the video that I put up, or my one video that I posted? Are you talking about that one? Esmeralda, I completely agree. That's why I don't even watch the news anymore. The only thing I look up is stuff about rideshare and gig economy and things along that nature. And it's kind of depressing to see some of the stuff too, because all these articles always usually have somebody in it that they're highlighting or talking about to kind of like drive the point home, or at least to try to make it more relatable. And some of the stories that you read, it's so sad and it's so unfortunate. But yeah, that's why I don't watch it. And that's why I try putting out some of the like game night stuff, live streams that I've been doing. The last one was a Cards Against Humanity game that me and a couple friends played online, and just some other different things. So you asked if you had questions. Yes. What's up? Where's your questions? Oh, just in general? I thought you were referencing the one video that I had posted. I have to have the right credentials. You have to be a full-time employee, and you have the right paperwork, and everything will go smooth. Yep. Yeah, if you make some real money on out there, loans and things like that are going to be a lot easier to get, for absolutely sure. But for those who are doing it part-time, or maybe like 100 or 200 a week out there, and that's just enough to pay the bills, and that's really all you're doing it for, and then the rest is doing whatever. That's going to be a little bit harder, especially if you're taking time off, going back on. But most drivers out there, about 90% of drivers or so, drive 10 hours or less. Wait, is it? No, I'm sorry, 80%. Is it 80 or 90? I think, no, it's 80% drive 10 hours or less. 90% drive 20 hours or less. I think that's what it is. And then there's 10% that drive more than that. A couple of friends, I see how it is. Chell, you were on there too, but so is Gwen and Aaron. Peter, what's going on? How you doing? Politics is playing a big part. Yeah. Politics is a big problem, and Euguene Scalia is just not right in the head right now. 6 foot apart or 6 foot under? I don't know about that one, Donnie. I'm going to reserve my opinions and my thoughts off the air and off of YouTube. But Chelsea's good, Dylan. Thanks for asking. She's doing good, yeah. But yeah, it's rough. So, all right, I'm gonna wrap this up now. If you guys have any last questions, put it in the live chat now. But again, like I said, I just wanted to share this information with you, just so you can have it in your heads that there could be some challenges and hurdles that gig workers have to face, or self-employed, but self-employed may not have that same hurdle to jump through when it comes to it. It's just gig workers themselves, at least from some of these articles. Again, any updates that I see when it comes to it, I will continue to make. Oh, geez, shouldn't drink the Dr. Pepper right now. I will make updates for everybody to let you know. Also, if there's any updates that you have come across or that you can always email me, so I can at least check that out, especially when it comes to unemployment claims and things like that with states, whether they're denying, whether they're accepting, and if anybody's actually getting paid out. So you can comment or email me and let me know as well. First day filing And Uber and Lyft drivers was Friday afternoon at 2. Paperwork came in the bank. It'll be there Monday morning. There you go. It's a grant. Nice. Did anybody get for the SBA loan yet? I haven't heard that yet. Yeah, I haven't heard that. I applied for the SBA loan. I haven't heard anything for it. The SBA loan, I applied for the SBA loan for my business, not for rideshare or anything like that. I haven't heard anything. When I put it in, they said about a week, but I'm sure that there's millions of people who are trying to put it in. So it's probably going to be a long process. So yeah, I haven't heard anything yet. I don't even know if anybody has been given, or no money has been given out except for $500 million to states to try to update their systems for IT and things like that. That's pretty much the only thing that's been given out so far for the stimulus, besides the stimulus checks themselves, because several people have already gotten the $1,200 or $2,400, depending on your filing status, whether it's single or joint, and any children. So be safe in New York. Thank you. Not working because of the virus. Don't want to mess up the 600 gig pay that is supposed to kick in mid-May, according to the governor in Ohio. What to do? I mean, you could potentially. I mean, I can't tell you what to do, honestly. Q Fizz. I like the name. That's pretty cool. But I can't tell you what to do. That's going to be up to you. It's going to come down to, do you have enough money to get by to pay your bills? You could probably, I mean, you might be able to do that and then claim partial unemployment for a couple of weeks or whatever, however it comes to. I mean, I can't really tell you what to do. That's a decision you got to make for yourself, and whatever the needs you have for your bills, for food, for your family, whatever it could be. So I can't, yeah, like I said, I can't do that. Alex M, how you doing? FHA loan from house got put back burner for 12 months. Make that happen, Wells Fargo. Well, there you go. Buenos noches. Keep it real. No pinger, Padani, huh? No pinger. The IRS should have been put in charge of all this. They have the information needed. I think the IRS should be on working together with the Department of Labor, but it makes sense that the Department of Labor is the ones who are doing this, because they're the ones who are overseeing. That's what unemployment does. MH08, I hear you. Right there. Why should we be shocked at all these roadblocks that have been set up? 100%. When it seems like something good's going to happen, poof, there's a roadblock. Then that overcomes, poof, there's another roadblock. So it's unfortunate and a real problem. First live visit, well, welcome. Hope you enjoy. Heard good things about your channel. Oh, thanks. From who? Looking forward to checking out. Well, welcome, Alex. I'm glad you came over, and whoever sent you over, tell them thank you. But we are going to be wrapping up right now. I believe Steph on the pedal is going to be doing a thank you live stream for her 2,000 subscriber mark that she just hit. So if you want to go and check her channel out, if you haven't already, and tell her I sent you. So I'm going to be signing off right now. I will be again posting update videos. Lastly, I just want to say thank you to everybody for hitting the 8,000 subscriber mark on this channel. So thank you again. I truly appreciate all the love and support, and we're just going to drive it up to the 10K, which will be the next mark, and do something fun probably at that point, hopefully. We'll just see what happens with what's going on in the world at that point. I'll answer that one last. Jessica Pina, who qualifies for unemployment now? It's still pretty much the same. The only thing is gig workers may have hit roadblocks when it comes to filing. The whole thing is still pay attention to the state's websites, when you can apply, when you can't apply. When it says to apply, then go ahead, follow the process, do what it says to do. And if you have to talk to people, then call up, try talking to people. But just letting you know that there could be a big hurdle, and it's coming down to one person, which is Department Secretary Euguene Scalia. So if, again, you want to voice your own opinions and thoughts about this, I highly suggest going to all of your representatives, and whether they're state or federal, and getting a hold of them and telling them exactly what you think and what you feel. Because if they start getting, how many ever rideshare drivers who have to file unemployment because it's all dried up all over the place, they're probably going to put a little bit of pressure on Euguene Scalia to change some of these things. So yes, get hold of your state senators, get hold of your House of member or your members of House of House of Representatives, Congress members. Get hold of the Senate minority leaders like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, all of those people. Even go try hitting up the VP and president, because again, if people are putting all that into it, it might help change some of these things around a little bit, and they may change or loosen that whole thing up or change it altogether. So hopefully that's the case. Next phase is going to help gig or employees in general. The next phase of stimulus bill should help unemployment benefits. But again, that's what all this was about. So again, hopefully this is just a hurdle that isn't really going to really be a hurdle. Hopefully this is just something that one person won't be able to really influence, but it could. All right, so that's the end of this. I'm going to be shutting it down. Again, Steph on the Pedal, I believe, is going live around 9:30, which she may be going in the next few minutes if she hasn't started already. So go over there, check her channel out, give her some love and support as well, because she's got a lot of cool content. Her and I just did a collaboration together about a week ago, I think it was, where we posted a video on my channel and also on her. I was on her channel, so make sure you check those videos out too, because we were talking about a few different things. One was unemployment, one was how to make money during all this whole thing, if you needed to as well. All right, so make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded and updated, whether it is update information and everything that's going on in the world today, or just the normal content that I normally do produce. Now, tomorrow is Easter. I will be posting a video tomorrow about something a little weird. It's not really anything to do with rideshare or anything like that. If there is any updates or any news, I will post something later in the evening. But I hope you guys have a great Easter or whatever you might be doing tomorrow. Hopefully get some chocolate or something to enjoy and have a little bit of fun. But other than that, yeah, have a great night. Be safe, be healthy. Do what you got to do to make sure you get through. And again, don't rely on unemployment because it might not be there. But again, make sure you contact the people you have to contact, and hopefully it will be there for everybody who does need it. And with that being said, make sure... I think that's it. All right. And as always, never drink and drive. Always tip your drivers, your delivery drivers, and your shoppers. And we'll see you next time.